Hey everybody, what's up? Kevin here from the My Song a Day Rock 2000 to Today YouTube channel, and today we are going to be reviewing the 6th album from the hard rock juggernaut that is Alter Bridge. This is their album, Walk the Sky. Okay, let me give you a quick rundown on how this video is going to work because we are changing it up a little bit. First, I'm going to go through a little bit of a background on the band from their previous album so we're all caught up to speed when it comes to Walk the Sky. Then, I'm going to go through the album a little bit differently, talking about its meanings and themes, then talking about its composition and instrumentation, followed by its vocal performance, and then I will give it the rating on 0 to 10, of course 0 being the worst, 10 being the best, as a whole. And after that, I will summarize everything for you guys so you know what my thoughts exactly are. We will keep doing the full-length review of each song and really go deep dive into it on our chord progression podcast. So you can check out the episode that was released on October 22nd, 2019 called Kevin Walks the Sky. So I think you guys are waiting for this one. I mean, are you getting tired of waiting?
Well, we're waiting.
All right, let's get to it. Alrighty, so let's take a look at Alter Bridge right before this. So their previous album, The Last Year, was their 5th release, released on October 7th, 2016. And it received generally positive reviews overall regarding the band's lyrical content, their lyrical themes, and their musicianship on the album. Where they got a little bit of criticism on that album specifically was at the long run time, because I think it was about 66 minutes overall, and the feeling that it was overproduced. So those are the criticisms that were generally on The Last Hero. So it actually peaked at number 1 in New Zealand, and on the Billboard Top 200 here in the United States, it peaked at number 8 back in 2016. So for a hard rock band like Alter Bridge, that is pretty good. Now, in between The Last Year and Walk the Sky, of course, the guys have been working on their side projects. Let's go through a couple of them. First, we have Slash featuring Myles Kennedy and the Conspirators. For all of you who don't know, Myles Kennedy is the lead vocalist and rhythm guitarist for Alter Bridge. So they released their 3rd album, Living the Dream, back in 2018. This peaked at number 27 on the Billboard Top 200 here in the United States, and it received mixed to a little bit more positive reviews. So think like, 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10 when you're looking at a scale of 1 to 10, or 0 to 10, I should say. Myles Kennedy also had his solo project, his first solo album called Year of the Tiger, which was released in 2018 as well. And this was received very favorably by both the rock community and those who review the music, and just by music fans in general. It was considered to be one of the best albums of 2018 consistently. So there was a lot on there. Also, there is Tremonti, which is Mark Tremonti's side project, the lead guitarist for Alter Bridge. He released his 4th album, A Dying Machine, again back in 2018. I believe it peaked at number 7 on the rock album charts and on number 57 in the Billboard Top 200 here in the United States. It received mostly positive reviews, and out of all the side projects that they have going on, I like this one the most just because it has that harder sound to it. It's got a little bit of a grittier vocal style from Mark Tremonti, which I really do like. June of 2019 from the band, and Mark Tremonti said this album was kind of like a John Carpenter movie. We're just always adding layers upon it. So they're adding more layers to their music, so the musicianship and the construction of the songs are really going to potentially be a lot more well constructed, a lot deeper. Now, Mark and Myles have done a little bit of a different songwriting style for this one. Instead of them coming with ideas to each other and really workshopping them together, they've come with full song ideas and have been tweaking them and producing them and fixing them fully with the rest of the band. So they have the full ideas concepted. And it's interesting to see what happens on this one, just because, again, a little bit of a different writing style from guys who are very well versed when it comes to writing music. So, ready to get going?
Let's go!
All right, let's get into it. Alrighty, so looking at Walk the Sky for its overall meanings and themes, when I really listened to the whole entire album and reviewed it fully and really did a deep dive into the meanings, I thought that Walk the Sky is about to give you this moment of reflection and taking a look back at life and really reviewing it after, you pass on, and really now doing it before you pass on, so you can kind of get the meaning and the vibe to reflect of what you're still doing while you're still alive. And this is taking a different approach because I've seen a lot of bands really attack that kind of an issue in 2019, but this is a lot different of a way that Alter Bridge is going about it, so I'm really excited for it. The album starts out with One Life, and it really brings this into focus, where it's a perfect example where it's kind of like, the intro to Lose Yourself. If you got one shot, one opportunity, Are you going to take it or he's going to let it slip? So I kind of like that. Taking a look at some of the songs and looking at their meanings, there's some that have meaning about, living your life to the fullest and living out your happiness and not following in someone else's path. So songs like Wouldn't You Rather, Take the Crown, Indoctrination, and Clear Horizon all hit on these themes. Now, there's also the consistent theme of how others have impacted your life and make you happy and how bringing them into your life as well. So making sure the positive influences of your life are there. So songs like In the Deep and Godspeed are really honing in on that. There's also, how you can be the cause of your own happiness, or I should say unhappiness at this point, and are in need of really reflecting on it. So they're really taking a look at that deep dive into auditing what you're doing. So taking a look at songs like The Bitter End and Forever Falling. They also go full on reflection at the end. So really taking a look at what you're doing and take a grand scheme look on the last three songs, which are Walking on the Sky, Tear Us Apart, and Dying Light. So overall, I was really pleased with how they focused in on that thought of being personally happy and having a clean mental health state, but really going about it in a lot of different ways and attacking it from a lot of different angles. So it was really well done in my opinion. All right, now let's take a look at the composition of each song and the instrumentation behind it. It's all about the musicianship and really what lies beneath each and every song. So Alter Bridge kind of came out again and said that they were going to keep adding on to their own sound. So they're not going to lose their sound. They're just going to add more to it and create more layers and more depth within each song. So it's really going to be a huge thing on the writing of it and how everything is composed and put together. So let's take a look at a couple examples and see where they really hit on this. So In the Deep is a song where they really hit on this, where the intro has kind of this hard rock instrumentation with a higher pitched guitar sound, which I'm like, okay, that's really interesting. And then it just kind of goes right into this hard sound. I'm like, oh man, this is what I came for. The verses kind of have it a little bit slower up and the pre-chorus kind of picks it up a little bit. And then you get a lot better of a sound from the chorus. So it really kind of progresses through. So I thought it was layered very well. Take a look at a song like Godspeed, where it mixes that hard rock instrumentation and more of a melodic rock instrumentation as well. So you're really kind of mixing their classic sound with something a little bit more drawn out and melodic. It starts more melodic in the end, but then it kind of goes in this hard rock sound within the verses and the chorus, which I kind of really like. And the bridge goes just full hard rock. I mean, they do not relent on it at all. And it creates this really interesting feel to a song that just shows how well written it was. Now, the bitter end is just layered beautifully with how it is done. So it gives off this like ballad feel overall, but then it kind of just changes up with a couple of simplifying instrumentation moves. So first we were brought into this kind of like background sound where it's kind of toned down a little bit in the end, and it kind of allows the vocals from Myles Kennedy to shine, which I will speak to a little bit later. The chorus again mixes that hard rock and ballad sound, which is really tough to pull off, but I think they really did hit it here. And it's all driven by Mark Tremonti on the guitar. So I thought this was another well-constructed song. Take a look at a song at the end like Dying Light. Now, Myles said the song is about going through like a sonic journey, especially being placed at the end of the album to kind of go through and do the whole entire reflection thing. So let's see if they really hit on it. And it kind of began with that feeling, and then it kind of went more harder rock style as it went on, but it kept that sonic journey melodic feel to it. So I thought, you know what? You really hit on it. So overall, when it comes to the instrumentation and the composition, they are written so well and layered so well in almost each and every song that you go hard rock, melodic rock, sometimes some soft rock, sometimes some alt metal. You really put all these pieces together, and almost all the time, they really work well. All right, so we have to talk about vocal performances, especially with Alter Bridge, because they're led by Myles Kennedy, who has such a fantastic range that we've seen throughout Alter Bridge, his solo project, and Slash feature Myles Kennedy and the Co-Conspirators. I'm also going to speak to Mark Tremonti's song on this one as well, but I'll get to that at the end. So let's start with a song like In the Deep, where the range on Myles' vocals is absolutely beautiful, where he focuses on a lower pitch at the beginning of the verses, and the pitch keeps increasing as we go from verse to chorus to pre-chorus to chorus, I should say. But then when you get to the bridge, he just kind of lets it out there. You really get the feel for the song all through his pitch and all through his emotion. Take a song like Take the Crown, where they go with a little bit less range from Myles, but he uses a little bit of a gruffer and rougher tone. He still will hit those high notes and those low notes perfectly, but it just gives you a little bit more of a rougher feel to the song, which really fits in with its own theme, and it's done very well where he hits all the notes. Clear Horizon is probably the song that is best shown for Myles' vocals because his range is all over the place, where he's got these incredible high notes, he's got the incredible low notes, and he's everywhere in between. And I mean, by what I say all over the place is all over on that scale and that octave. However, it is perfectly placed within each part of the song for him, and it's beautifully written to the point where he can pull that off, and it's really well done. Take a look at a song like Walk in the Sky, and he uses this more lower pitch sound in it to kind of just flow along with the instrumentation. I said flow along with the instrumentation, but it's more a focus sound and really drives into you, especially given the fact that it's more of a reflective song at the end of your whole entire life. And it really does work on this one. I do have to talk about Forever Falling because this is one I was most excited about when the album was released, not with the singles, because this is one where Mark Tremonti was going to be the lead vocalist on this one. And I really like the Tremonti project. I like his vocals on all that stuff. So I was going to take a look and see this one. And I believe that this one was the missed opportunity on the album because with Mark's singing style, it's a lot rougher than Myles. It's a lot harder. And they really could have gone on something where it was a lot more driven, a lot harder, just more fantastic, like the Tremonti project, and really mix it in with the Alter Bridge writing style. However, I think they really missed that opportunity to really have an absolute smoke show of a song here. So overall, again, the vocal performances, I think they missed an opportunity with Forever Falling, with Mark's song, but when it comes to Myles Kennedy and his vocals, he is almost all the time 100% spot on with what he's doing, and it is fantastic. Alrighty, so the overall rating for Walk the Sky by Alter Bridge is going to be an 8.5 out of 10. So why 8.5 out of 10? Let's take a look at the positives from this album. The composition and the songwriting is something that is absolutely amazing, where they took that standard Alter Bridge sound that they've been creating and perfecting over the last 15 years, and it just kept adding layers to it to the point where these songs are very complex in their writing style and how they're composed, but everything works in almost perfect harmony here. So it is done very well, and that is one of the biggest points on the album. Also, Myles Kennedy's vocals are almost flawless. There are a couple of times where I don't think they really mix in perfectly with the underlying instrumentation, but for the most part, I mean 95% of the whole entire album, it is perfect where he hits every single note, the exact pitch, the exact length. It is fantastic for Myles Kennedy. This was one of his best performances. And also, In the Deep, I think is the second best Alter Bridge track ever, and this is only behind Metalingus off of their first album. They really hit it hard with the underlying instrumentation, with the feeling. It really hits you deep, and I really do like it. Now, what I dislike about this album, there's only two things I really dislike about this album, where there was a little bit too much consistency on it in the form of this pace. So a lot of the songs kind of had the same exact pace and timing to them, to where if you listen to the whole entire thing through and through, you really get a feeling at times it can get kind of, you know, a little bit mundane, but that's really the only thing when it comes to the songwriting and composition. Now, Forever Falling, I mentioned it earlier, I thought this was a missed opportunity because I was expecting something a lot grittier, a lot harder when Mark was the lead vocalist, but it didn't really come through to fruition, so we'll see how that really affects them. Overall, Walk the Sky is a beautifully composed album with very few flaws to it, and I think it is Alter Bridge's best work to date overall, which is saying a lot as a composition. You can tell the songwriting is very complex. You can tell it is all there, and it all meshes well together, to where this is easily, and I mean easily, an Album of the Year contender. Not only that, but just take a look at that album artwork. That is some of the best album artwork I have ever seen. We'll see if it wins Best Album Artwork 2019, because it's between that and one other. So that's what I think. All right, well, thank you for watching My Song Day Rock 2000 Day album review on Walk the Sky by Alter Bridge. If you like this video, give me the thumbs up. If you dislike it, give me the thumbs down, but put in the comments why. Please subscribe. Not that one. Please subscribe and hit the like button so you get notified every single time we release new videos every Monday and Wednesday. Also follow us on social media. You know, we've got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Follow us on all those platforms to get all the My Song of the Day content, which is just going to give you all the value you need and everything you want in a rock music setting. Let's get those out of here. Let's talk about the Chord Progression Podcast. It's our very own podcast where we do deep dives into this stuff, like albums, concerts that we go to, just news and music. And we get to interview these smaller bands as well that are just absolutely fantastic. And we're trying to get to the bigger bands as well and keep the smaller bands in there. So please subscribe to that. Google, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and here on YouTube as well. Also, please subscribe to our Amazon Alexa skill, because you'll get to hear the song of the day feature all the time, and you get to hear it in its entirety in full. So please subscribe to everything. Please follow everything. Thank you for watching the video, and thank you for being a part of the best rock community here on the internet. This is Kevin from the My Song of the Day Rock 2000 Today. This ain't changing. Oh, I missed it, but see ya!